So I'll try stuff that doesn't work. But if I did that algorithm that I always do, it's not going to help because I'm going to get like a green here and a blue here. But what if I temporarily slide this guy over? It just might work. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try it. Oh, well, yeah, that's okay, right? That worked. Because I actually know how to solve this problem. It's my standard thing I do. And I'm happy. And somewhere along the way, I messed that up, and it's totally fine because I'm just gonna, I have to make sure that yellow goes to yellow, and then the white is yellow's garbage, and so the garbage collection has to work. Okay, so we're fine, that's fine. So let's see if I can now figure out how to deal with this guy. And that's gonna be some other similar setup move. So remember, this guy is gonna go here, that's okay. That guy's gonna end up down here. And that one's gonna end up back here. So why don't I just do a setup move like this and see if it works? We're probably gonna end up with a mess. Let me try it though. A bit of a mess, just a little bit. Well, I would be okay if I just, well, it just, the reason the setup didn't work is I wasn't considering the other part of the equation, right? So I can send that guy over, and I can send that guy home. But then there's another cycle happening at the same time. That's the problem, right? So this guy is gonna go here, that guy's gonna go here. But meantime, the other problem happens, and this is why you have to be very careful with your setup moves. At this point, I have to look at Yap's webpage. Okay, so I looked at Yap's webpage, but I don't want to do that because what he recommended is not memorable to me. And so I'm going to leave this and think about it. I'm going to play with the solved cube I have to see if I can figure out how to affect the change I want with a more memorable routine, and then I'll come back. Okay, I think I know what my strategy is going to be. So I need a name for this thing. This thing that I do, I'm going to call this Snake Eyes. But notice how, like, the snake eyes go here and then they go here, right? And of course, if you do it in the reverse order, the reverse thing happens. It's pretty straightforward. It's a very safe routine. If you do it slightly wrong, nothing bad happens. That's great. Okay, so if I want to make this just single, like a singleton, I make these cockeyed so that these are at like right angles. So these three are involved. These three are involved. But I make them not the same. Like if I put these guys here and these guys here, it stays as 2 and 2 or goes to 0. But if I go like this, then I end up with a 1 and a 1. And notice they are in different positions. Okay, so if I want to resolve a 1 and a 1, I could put one back here and put one in the opposite direction. Right? Well, maybe again. There we go. We get a twosie situation. Then you can line up the twosies and then do my snake eyes again. So now that I have a strategy, I'm going to bring in my patient. I'm going to do snake eyes. So the important thing is to not align them. Clearly I did it in the wrong direction initially, but who cares? Doesn't matter. That's why I love this thing. It's so safe. We're good. So we've now solved this phase where the middles are all done. Now, if you're doing a 4x4 cube and you did your middles, then you have to see if your middles are in the right places before you go to the next stage. So the way you would find out if your middles are in the right places is you would do some slight amount of lineup. You take the corner and line it up and make sure that these are in the right places. And then you'd have to take, okay, where's the white and green corner, and basically like line it up, make sure that the orange is in the right place. Just make sure you know where everything goes and they're in the right place. You can switch them later, but that's kind of a pain. Okay. So this centered snake eyes are going to look like this. But you still get like a snake eye pattern. And I also have to consider this case that didn't show up, which is what if instead of the corner being the oddball out, you have just a singleton there, or, you know, like that. And so you end up doing something like this. You do a setup move to the snake eyes. You would go front, backwards, one turn. And then this slice, do a 2 on that. And then bring this guy back up. So you get a stripe back there of where things are going to be affected. You can go ahead and do your snake eye thing. And this is the centered snake eye. Okay, and then the great thing about the setup move is it's the same to set it up as to take it down. It's its own inverse. And so that's how you get the single dot. And so I guess now we got to undo it. So it's jamming. And then here we go.